Can Trump out Biden? Well, so far the answer is a very clear yes when you look at what he's doing to the American economy. I mean, people are missing Bidenomics, which says a lot. But now he's trying to do that in terms of foreign policy and specifically his policy in the Middle East. Well, he's out Biden in other ways. Biden was not supportive enough of Ukraine, and Trump is literally supporting Ukraine's enemy and invader. But yeah, here when it comes to the war in Israel and the war on Israel, it seemed like he was doing better. Now, even there, it was difficult exactly to tell what was going on. His first act, which was before he was even inaugurated, was a hostage deal, which is, widely supported in Israel, but not something that is in Israel's favor. And yeah, he has kind of pulled back a bit from criticizing, or quite a bit, quite a lot, from criticizing Israel when it comes to military action in Gaza, in Syria, in the West Bank, and in Lebanon. But when it comes to Iran, apparently it's a very, very different story. A few weeks ago, we covered Trump's meeting with Netanyahu in the White House, the second one, the bad one, let's call it that, not the one where they were the first one where they were heaping praise on each other, but the second one where Trump was basically doing a much, much lighter version of what he did to Zelensky and kind of showing in front of the cameras who's boss. Now, we heard that that trip was because Netanyahu wanted to get an exemption for Israel from the tariff policy by kissing the ring and capitulating on whatever. Again, of course, Israel should not have tariffs on anything anyway, but yeah, he went a bit further than just dropping the tariffs. Turns out that wasn't the case at all. According to a report in the New York Times yesterday, Netanyahu informed Trump that Israel is planning to attack Iran next month. This was an attack that was going to involve aerial strikes that would take over like a week or something. Some ground troops. It was quite an operation. Commando ground troops, not like a full invasion, and would, according to those reports, set Iran back a year. Now, of course, that doesn't sound like much, but it is much if Iran is about to have a bomb, and it is much knowing that the Iranian regime is so weak, knowing that the Iranian people are more likely than any other people living under totalitarianism to rise up against this regime. Trump said no. He said no publicly. He said to Netanyahu, we are going to essentially reward Iran for its belligerence with negotiation. And as his special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, later on elaborated, we're basically going to give them the Obama deal of, please don't do this, and we will keep you in power and help you continue to oppress your own people. That is the Trump policy now. Yeah, those of you who voted for Trump because you had enough of Obama Biden, congratulations, you got more and worse. Welcome to the Daily Objective. I'm Razi Ginsburg, joined by Daniel Kraus. Daniel.
Well, first of all, for the people who sort of like voted for Trump, uh, I don't like doing the sort of "I told you so." Even like 10% of me wants to do that, but I think there were sort of like rational reasons for voting for Trump, as in opposition to Biden. Oh, sorry, Kamala Harris, or not voting, and it's sort of I think it's in their conscience to sort of battle with that decision and what to think about it now. Um, when it comes to what he's pursuing right now, I don't really know. Like what can you even say about this? Like again, sort of like the 10% of me wants to do I told you so, but 90% of me wants a better world and a better Middle East, a Middle East without Iran. So I'm not happy about this. This is terrible But time and time again, this is what we are getting from Trump. As you mentioned, before he even took office, he forced Netanyahu into taking the deal. And, for those people who want to say, well, it was Netanyahu's choice, we wouldn't do that when Biden was in office. When every time Biden forced or tried to force Israel into doing something, we always criticized it, as we should, and it shouldn't be any different right now. He is still keeping Witkoff as the chief negotiator, not just in Middle East, not just for Iran, even though he wanted somebody else. He wanted Marco Rubio to handle Iran negotiations, but Iran said no, they would prefer Witkoff. And Trump bent it because that's what he always does. He bends to the will of anybody who says. Uh, he always has big words and he never delivers on them. I think about 3 or 4 times he said Hamas will get hell or they'll deliver hell or whatever else it was, and it simply never happens. We keep getting more and more submission of Trump towards any dictatorship he wants. Uh, you know, I mean, I could go into all the other stuff, but just keeping on the Middle East, like he didn't get any concession from Iran so far. He didn't get any concession from Hamas either. Like whenever we talk about negotiations, like it's easy to negotiate, but you give up on all the terms you actually want. If we don't actually get anything we want, yeah, it's just surrendering.
Yeah, just on the hell to pay thing, I will repeat what I said back then. I blame Netanyahu. The hell to pay thing was not America is going to attack Gaza. It's uh, I'm not going to stop Israel from doing what they want to do if you don't release the hostages by this deadline. They didn't release the hostages, and Netanyahu could at the very least have called Trump's bluff, which he didn't. He waited a while, and even when he restarted military activities there. It was better than before, as we've said, and we've praised that aspect of it, but it is nothing compared to what needs to be done. Thank you, PC, for the super chat. PC says, well, Razi, at least Joe is retired. Imagine what it would be like under Biden. I don't know what it would be like under Biden. I mean, Biden told Netanyahu basically don't. I know that specific line was supposedly to Iran, but what would Biden do to stop Netanyahu? I think Netanyahu, uh, look, I'm not going to praise Biden. I don't think I've praised Biden at all since the first few days after October 7th when I bought his bullshit of sending the aircraft carrier before realizing it was sent there to tell Israel to not do too much. But yeah, thank thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Apollo Zeus. Apollo Zeus said earlier, I like the thumbnail, Daniel. Not okay, bro. Gillette ad. Yeah, I have to say, I saw the thumbnail. I was wondering if this is like, Timu jealous girlfriend meme, and then I didn't realize what it was until you said that, Apollo. Yeah, that's a terrible ad. I think it may have been before the Daily Objective existed, so there wasn't a show about it, but we would do a show on that ad, probably more than once, more than one show, if it happened today. And that was the worst part of it. The not cool, bro, when the guy is just walking as if he's about to approach a woman, and apparently that's not cool, bro. So yeah, Gillette. We do sponsored shows, but if you want to sponsor an episode of the Daily Objective or the reality show, the first sponsorship should be an apology to your customers and potential customers. Um, yeah, I mean, with Steve Witkoff, it's I don't know what to say. It's Israel looked Trump looked like an ally of Israel. He looks a bit like an ally of Iran. It's not really clear what it is. The only country in the Middle East that knows it's safe is Qatar. Everybody else is basically it depends on Trump's latest whim. And yeah, I don't know what to say. As long as Witkoff is around, um, you have to wonder what's going to happen. And you mentioned this, Daniel, in one of the shows we did about this. Where is Marco Rubio? I mean, I see him because he's sitting with Trump in the Oval Office in meetings and stuff and photo ops. But why is Witkoff doing the job of the Secretary of State. What, because he can kind of get away with not doing the official stuff that a diplomat has to do. This does not look good, and it's not heading in a good direction. And once again, I'll say to Israel, to whatever extent you have any permission, because Netanyahu definitely is the kind of leader who needs permission from the U.S. To do anything, do it now rather than doing the walkbacks you do on everything positive that Trump throws your way. Like, for example, the deportation, which Trump said, everybody's going to leave. And Netanyahu keeps insisting it's going to be voluntary, which of course it shouldn't be. You started a war, you will pay for it. But yeah, Netanyahu is not the kind of leader who will stand up to Trump where he needs to, but he's not even taking the opportunities that Trump gives him. Daniel.
So we have somebody in the chat saying I'm wrong, trying to sort of defend Trump. And just on the, like, to me, it's insane how people idolize politicians. Trump is a politician. He's a scumbag. He's a politician like any other. What is this idealization of like an actual politician? Why are we doing that? They are like the people in his administration, many of them are just politicians from some other parts of his from some other parts of politics. Like, what is this kind of, like, he is your king, he is your like savior that is going to save the world, and you have no evidence to back it up. Again, when it comes to sort of somebody says, when he says he does something, he does something. The thing is, I cannot even count him on that because I have no idea what he says he's going to do and what actually matters. Every time he says he's going to do something, it never works, and then he changes what the goal was. Like, I have no idea what is his plan for Iran. He never says so. He said he wants a deal. Well, Obama had a deal, and Trump canceled that deal during his first administration. So what was the difference? What is the difference between the deals that are going to be made? There is not a single thing that I can even correct or sort of criticize Trump on because he is not consistent with anything. With when Biden was in office, I at least could understand sort of like what the hell he is doing. He does want Israel to do something in Gaza, but he doesn't want them to actually do that much. And I could like look at his actions through that prism and say, okay, all of Biden's actions follow from that premise. Trump, I have no judge, like, it's impossible for me to do anything when it comes to almost critiquing him. Like, what is he doing now? He is forcing Netanyahu to not attack Iran. Israel had a plan for it. Netanyahu was asked if this was true, that he was stopped. He didn't deny it. So what's going on?
Well,
And just a quick
yeah.
thing about the tariff thing. And also, that's so dishonest. The fact that Trump had tariffs on Israel and America had one of the freest free trade agreements that probably ever in history. It was like 99% of the things. And after Trump put on tariffs, the Minister of Finance actually destroyed all the tariffs. So there are zero tariffs by Israel on America right now. The only nation that did that, the only nation that before even any agreement, they basically got rid of all the tariffs. And what is Trump's response? He keeps tariffs on Israel.
Yeah. Look, I remember, I think it was shortly after the inauguration or maybe before, there was a week where I was on the reality show on a Monday and then a Wednesday, and I said, there were four of us both days. And I said on the Wednesday that on Monday I was on the show and I was the maybe most anti-Trump person on that panel, and then I was the most kind of not anti-Trump, or vice versa. And that's kind of what you can expect on this channel, but maybe I'm not considered as TDS as the Trump supporters would call Daniel, because I also said I was relieved after he won. But I will say, yeah, Chuck Norris Gun Club. I don't know if that's who you're referring to, but he said you were biased. So what I want to know, Chuck Norris Gun Club, or anybody else who is pro-Trump, like, where would you criticize him? Okay, if this is not the thing you'd criticize him on, if tariffs are not the thing you would criticize him on, What are the things you would criticize him on? And don't tell me Biden would be worse. It doesn't matter, or Harris. It doesn't matter. Trump is president. He is the decider, as George W. Bush referred to himself, and it's up to him. So that's who you judge. And tell me what it is that you don't that you don't like about him, because it's I don't get it. With tariffs, what do you think is the right approach to tariffs? Because he's had different approaches. He's changed him. Like, so it was right when it was like 17 to 46% on various countries, and it's right when it's now 10% on everybody, and up to, Daniel told me, 250 on some stuff from China, but that was like 5 hours ago, so I don't know if it's changed since. Like, what is the right one? What is he right on? What is he wrong on? Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for these people, people will be marching into concentration camps and they'll be talking about the 5D chess by Trump. Like, again, what is the end? And, again, just let's laser focus on Iran. What is the focus? Trump now says he wants a deal. He says, there might be, they will not refrain from bombing Iran, but he wants a deal. So is this what we're getting? Just like Obama's foreign policy, just a deal? When it comes to Russia, again, he wants to deal. He wants to give up Ukraine. He doesn't. Again, show me one time where Trump pushed back against an actual dictator, where Trump said to a dictator, "You listen here right now, and I'm gonna tell you what you're going to do." Did he do that with Kim Jong Un? No, he embraced him. He saluted North Korean troops. Did he do that maybe with China right now? He said he's waiting for a call from China. No, he put down. He completely eliminated the tariffs for microchips and the most important things that China was exporting to the U.S. Okay, not Iran? No, he says he wants to deal, and also he banned it to their pressure and basically put in Witkov in its place. Who else? Putin? No, he gave him everything. He gave him more than he even ever asked for. So what is the? Oh, another El Salvador. Yeah, let's build labor camps in a fascist nation across the bay. Like, what is the one dictator that Trump stood up? No, the only people he tries to bend to his will is his allies, because it's much easier to bully democracies rather than try to bully people that might actually stand up to you.
Okay, yeah, Chuck Norris Gun Club or anybody else defending Trump, the offer stands. Tell us where you're happy you voted for him. We get it. It's better than Harris. We get it. Tell us where one thing he did that's wrong. Yeah, okay, back to the topic. Let's read a little bit of this article, because I think it tells you a lot about the administration. We're not going to get to anywhere near all of it, but this is from the New York Times. I'll just go straight in the article. Israel had planned to strike Iranian nuclear sites as soon as next month, but was waved off by President Trump in recent weeks in favor of negotiating a deal with Tehran to limit its nuclear program, according to administration officials and others briefed on the discussions. Limit. Okay. Limit to what? Like, is it limit? Anyway, Mr. Trump, uh, Mr. Trump made his decision after months of internal debate over whether to pursue diplomacy or support Israel in seeking to set back Iran's ability to build a bomb at a time when Iran had been weakened militarily and economically. Me editorializing, i.e., the best time ever to attack, because it means not only do you get rid of this threat to all of humanity, that is a nuclear armed Islamic theocracy, but you also get rid of the regime, because the people of Iran do not want it. They want to get rid of it, and they can't, and this would help them. Uh, I'll read the next paragraph, and then we'll go back to commenting on it. The debate highlighted fault lines between historically hawkish American cabinet officials and other aides more skeptical that a military assault on Iran could destroy the country's nuclear ambitions and avoid a larger war. It resulted in a rough consensus for now against military action, with Iran signaling a willingness to negotiate. Yes, of course, Iran is going to signal a willingness to negotiate, because they see that Trump is open to it, and kind of easy to manipulate if you know how, and if you have the backbone, which Netanyahu does not.
Uh, God, where are my neocons? People criticize them and prefer the sort of the current MAGA Republicans, but whenever I see it, it's like how it's just sort of like nostalgia. Oh, when we actually wanted to. I mean, we never invaded the correct country or in very few times, but at least we did something. And yeah, again, like my question would be, okay, we get the deal with Iran, and sort of the reason why even sort of 1 year sort of put it off is huge because Iran is pretty much is not that far away from developing nuclear weapons. It's few years at the worst case scenario is like it's or the best case scenario it's like it's going to be in a few years. So what will we do? What will we do if if Iran continues developing them and nothing happens? Will we attack them then? Will we try to do something then, or will we let them develop nuclear weapons like we did with North Korea? What is the strategy here? And again, Trump loves to hide behind I wasn't in office when that happened. But everything that happens wrong, everything wrong that happens with America, I think is sort of at the fault of pretty much all presidents sort of like collectively. I mean some more than the others, but sort of you have a choice right now to do something different. And if because of your inaction right now, when the next president comes in, Iran will already have nuclear weapons, or there will be no longer a place to do something. That is also your fault. You played into that as well. So again, what are we doing? What is Trump's long-term plan when it comes to Iran? What is Trump's long-term plan when it comes to Middle East? He never does anything that would actually require some substantial work. The one thing he had in the Middle East is the Abraham Accords. Can people tell me the nations in the Abraham Accords? It's like doesn't even matter. It was like Morocco, Sudan, United Arab Emirates, and I think one more. It's like those simply do not matter. It does. They are not the big players when it comes to the problems in the Middle East. Well, I mean, most of them are not even in the Middle East.
All right. The in effect, third panelist on this show, Chuck Norris Gun Club, because what you're saying here, like, would you? Okay, so Chuck Norris Gun Club is saying, where is it? Why must it happen right now? And then later on, what if there is a way to solve this without war? First of all, why? Not now. This should have happened in, first of all, the attack on Iran should have happened in 1979 when they attacked the US. That's when it should have happened. You take hostages in an embassy of a country, that is an act of war, and the US replied with, "Oh, please, please stop the war," as the US tends to do. So that was the time. Anywhere between then and now would have been the time. Certainly, since the 30 years or so that we know they're working on a nuclear bomb. But what if this can be solved while avoiding a war? Obama did that. So we've already been here. We've been exactly here. And Witkoff has said that we're gonna get the exact same deal. That's the deal on the table. So and it didn't work last time. Why would it work this time? I believe maybe they could get a deal where Iran waits it out until Trump is out of office. Maybe that's the best they can. You think there is any way that Iran, especially now, after its entire network of terrorist proxies has all but crumbled, do you think now that they're gonna give up their only chance of really surviving as a regime? Absolutely not. And again, would you say this if this was Biden? If Biden was now signing a deal, would you say why now, why must we attack? Isn't Biden's deal great? No, you probably wouldn't. If I'm wrong, let me know. But no, again, the time is not now. It's now because all the other time, when it was the time, we didn't do it.
Yeah, and so some people in the chat say, I think somebody said that he needs to say something to Witkoff. America has this unique thing called sort of independent executive. He can dismiss all of his cabinet immediately. Like,
Yeah, he needs to say something to Wickoff. You're fired. That's what he
yeah,
needs to say. But he should never have
it's his
said you're
favorite
hired.
line.
It's a Trump. Yeah, it's a Trump line which he stole from Vince McMahon, by the way. But anyway.
And somebody also said that all the presidents failed to fix this or whatever. So we have no demands of our like elected leaders. As long as as long as they put, uh, at some point in Slovakia we had like the technocratic government, and basically, the only purpose they had is sort of like put coal into furnace to basically keep the lights on until the actual government can come into power. Is that what Trump is? He's just gonna be waiting in the White House until somebody else comes in and actually wants to do stuff? Like, he has 4 years. He can do whatever he wants. Why is he just like not doing anything? Like, yeah, and nobody got rid of slavery before Abraham Lincoln. Nobody like fought World War II before FDR. Like, yeah, nothing is being done by any president until it's being done. That's what happens. Nobody established American Republic before the founding fathers decided to do so. Trump has this like he wants to make America great. How about he fucking takes any steps towards pursuing that greatness?
Calm down, Daniel. When you drop an F-bomb, I'm worried that you're gonna start losing it. But yeah, actually, maybe you shouldn't calm down because this is a rightfully infuriating. There's a couple of things in the chat. There's somebody, the official spokesperson of All Americans, says Americans don't want a war with Iran. Israel can do what they want. Well, no. I mean, yes, Israel would need America's help to some extent. But another reason, by the way, to answer again, Chuck Norris Gun Club's previous question, um, there part of the reason why the time is now is because Israel took out Iran's air defenses, and to whatever extent they've recovered, I would guess they've recovered only to an extent that isn't sufficient for Israel to not take them out the next time in the first wave of such an attack if it was coming. Um, yeah, and also Chuck Norris Gun Club, Razi, I'm not down with the Islamic Republic. LOL. I know. If I thought you were, we would not be having this conversation. I would read a, comment or two as a joke. But and then he asks, okay, so what is your policy recommendation to fix this issue? Daniel, Razi, take out the nuclear weapons program and take out the regime, and that's it. And then let the Iranians figure it out. And if they don't, and if they're still a threat, take out whatever of a threat they are. But take them out when it is militarily easier. And yeah, Iran is strong, but it's easier than it will be. Once certainly once they're nuclear, but even before. Thank you, Robert Naser, for the super chat. Robert says, "Go, Daniel." Daniel, I'll give you the last word before we
Yeah,
go on
somebody
to
said
another
Britain.
infuriating topic on the reality show.
Somebody said Britain abolished slavery before America. I was clearly talking about America itself, that he was before Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery. There was no president before that did that. And when it comes to sort of, somebody might say, but this is like starting a war against Iran. It's like a tough thing. Yeah, this is what happens after decades of not doing anything. The fact that I mean, Ayn Rand said that. The fact that we didn't march on Iran the day after the Islamic regime came into power, the day after they took American hostages, we will not live it down for decades. And this is what happens. The same reason we appeased Soviet Union during World War II, and then we had to deal with Cold War for decades to come. This is what happens when you appease, is you get into really tough situations. That's why principles matter. That's why doing something as soon as like, if you think taking out Iran is hard right now, try to think about it when they actually have nuclear weapons. That's when it's going to be impossible.
Well, some of Iran's best friends are Jews, and some of them are on a channel called Democracy Now! If you haven't heard of them, you're about to. Join us on the reality show, which starts in a couple of minutes. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you on TRS.